asked to last week one of the Toastmasters session in Sector 43 or somewhere. So I was informed over there, maybe you can, try more of sessions and see how it goes in other clubs. So I figured out yesterday on their website, on Toastmasters website, and so I figured this club out. So here I am.
Thank you so much, Pratish, and a very warm welcome to our meeting.
Thanks to you. Thank you.
Yes. So we have Abhishek. Abhishek, would you like to come on camera and introduce yourself?
Hi, Pratik. Actually, I'm outside traveling now because I have network issues here. So, myself, Abhishek. So, like last meeting, I joined physically at the TMclub. So, this is my second meeting virtually I'm joining. So, I'm planning to join the Toastmaster Club. So, I'm searching by my nearby location. So, currently, I'm staying at Patel Nagar, Gurgaon. So, most probably next week or upcoming week, I will plan to join. Yeah, thank you.
So thank you so much, Abhishek. Dikshita is the Toastmaster now, right?
Yeah, right.
And Kramika, right? Kramika is also a Toastmaster. So we don't have any more guests. I mean, alright. So let me hand over the stage to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vidushini Madan.
Hi everyone, good morning. Can somebody from virtual audience confirm if I'm perfectly audible?
Yes.
Thank you, Harsh.
Yes, you are.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much. So to start with, let me begin with introducing the structure of the meeting and especially for the benefit of our guests or people who are joining for the first time. So the Toastmaster meeting today will be divided into three sections primarily. So the first one would be the prepared speeches section. So today we have two speakers with us. One would be Toastmaster Vivek and second is Toastmaster Prateek. So that's the first section. The second section of the meeting would be the table topic section. So we would have a table topic master, which I believe is Toastmaster Komal today. So in this section, we will be giving an impromptu topic on which you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. It will be explained in detail once we come to it. The third section would be the evaluation section, where we would have the general evaluator and his team come up with their evaluation portion. So that would be the broader structure of the meeting. Now coming back to the theme. So the theme for today is fixing the broken windows. So let me ask you all, when we talk about the theme, what do you think we are going to talk about today? What exactly is the content going to be? Any ideas, anything random? Yes, sir.
I'm thinking of some naughty kids. They have broken the windows of my house and I'm going to fix it.
He's actually correct, but still more ideas. The story is somewhere outlined to that.
Actually, I was exactly thinking like that. You've stolen the word out of my mouth, except for a few. And let me add that. So I was thinking exactly the same, but a little more nuanced. That is, we are playing cricket in the street, and I love my favorite is Sachin Tendulkar, and even in his book, he writes that he's kind of broken a lot of glass panes of the windows of people living nearby where he was staying. And I'm a huge cricket fan, and we don't play cricket in the ground. It's either in the rooftop or in the street. So a lot of broken windows, or the computer, mobile cricket nowadays. So a lot of broken window panes come to the mind when I think of cricket. So your theme reminded me of that.
So actually continuing to the story itself, we all have memories of playing cricket in the lanes, in our balconies, on the rooftop, in our colonies. So the story is like that. I mean, I haven't broken any windows, but some children have broken our windows. So few years back, these kids were playing in the lane or on the road near our house. So one kid was very naughty and he took a shot and he broke the glass window. And that was right at the entrance of our house. So I was really upset at that time, and we just kept it like that for years. Maybe because we were going through some financial crisis and we wanted to wait to finally renovate the house. So we did not take any action, and I just procrastinated that, fine, we'll get it fixed later. And over the years, we also took some ideas, some quotations from different contractors as to what we can do. And the idea was to have the lavish windows and change the whole interior rather than just fixing that one portion of the window which was broken. The intent was to get the UV protection glasses, the better fiber one, the colored ones, and I had a lot of thoughts in my mind. So I used to just keep thinking about it that, one day we'll change it, we'll do this, we'll do that. And we keep talking to contractors. So one of the contractor also explained that the process of fixing the glass is a labor intensive one, as somebody has to put in their hand, pick up the pieces of the glass one by one, and it is also risky. Somebody might get hurt as well. So we just keep thinking about it and innovative and talking to people, and we never took it. But the thought of this broken window always kept me thinking about it, and I was very irritated with it. But we never took action. It was bothering us to an extent that a lot of flies were coming in, dust was coming in, and we were not able to breathe properly. We had to clean the house again and again, but it was always like that. And after a few years, finally, I completed my college. I had a new job. I was very excited, as a young 20, 21-year-old would be, that I'm going to live alone. I'm going to a metropolitan city now. I have my own money. So then we were thinking of selling the house. Since my whole family and I would move to the metropolitan city, we were thinking of different prospects. Should I move alone? Should I move with my family? So we just thought of one option, that we sell this house and we might move. So when the thought of selling the house came, I already knew that any potential buyer won't be interested in buying our house if right at the entrance they see, there is a broken window. So finally, guys, it was time to take action. Or maybe, if I reword it, we had to take action. So I gathered the courage, and it was already 5 years. Let me tell you guys, it was already 5 years. We never fixed it. So finally, I gathered the courage. I picked up the glasses myself. And I went in the market to find an alternative, or what we call in Hindi as jugaad, to just fix that portion. And to my astonishment, it was fixed in just 500 rupees. Just 500 rupees, and it was pending for 5 long years. Now I could have, managed to fix it even before that. It was just, the small amount. But I never did it. Maybe because I made it so big in my head, I had my own stories. And I was just discussing it with different people. I was taking all the perspective, keeping it all here in my head. I made it so big when it actually wasn't. And ladies and gentlemen, it is actually not about the windows. I'm talking about life. All of us have different broken windows, which we sometimes don't fix. We never take action. Maybe we are waiting for somebody else to come and help us. But in reality, nobody's come. So I want every one of you to take out the pen and papers and write what is your broken window. It could be multiple, it could be one, or maybe you are the best person and you don't have a broken window, you have fixed everything. That is also possible. So can you guys please write, and if anyone would like to share also with the group.
I think I live in a glass house.
So let me start with myself while you guys are writing and thinking about your broken windows. So the problem with me is that I always avoid conflict in any relationship. It could be with friends, it could be with colleagues, it could be with my partner, all my parents. I always run away from conflict. For example, if Pratik comes to me and say any nasty thing to me, Vidushi, you won't be able to do this. And I believe it is not true. But I would never fight it back. I just make a story in my head that this guy is a very wrong guy, and I'm crossing him, I'm not talking to him. That's how I have been doing with people. and that was bothering me. A lot of people gave me feedback, but I never worked on. Until recently, so while I was going to office, I met a known colleague who also used to be my friend. She also used to work in the same building, somewhere in different office. I didn't know, but I met her on the way while I was carrying my bag and stuff and going to work. So since she was coming right in front of me, I had to speak to her or say hi. It was I did not have the chance to avoid her, else I would have. So I spoke to her, and she confronted me and told me that it's been 4 years. You never spoke to me. And even now, I think you are trying to avoid me, but you had to talk to me, and it was quite visible. So she confronted me and she told me that you are somebody who uses people. Once you had your work done, you never spoke to me again. And you guys won't believe, I still did not confront. I still did not tell her that 4 years back you told me this thing. That's why I don't like you or I didn't like it. I still did not tell her. I let her create her own story and let her believe that I'm not a good person. So post this incident, I came home and I was very disturbed. I kept thinking about it that, I was the victim in this case and, it eventually turned out the other way around. So after this incident, I decided that if I don't like anything or if I have a different perspective about something that the other person says to me, I always put my point on the table in a good way, not to fight with the person, just clear my head and see my perspective. So this was my broken window. It could be in a different area also, not just about emotions or relationship. You guys can have it in a different area. So anyone would like to talk about it? Yes, Toastmaster Vivek.
So I don't think I have a broken window, but I want to change the glasses. The window I don't like. And these two windows which I think I have been planning to change for a long time. One is sense of humor, and second is vocal variety. These two things, last few months I have taken up this project. I get continuous feedback in Toastmasters or any other platform that probably a vocal variety you need to work on. And second is sense of humor. This is my second pathway which I am engaging humor to be my second pathway. So I want to replace these two windows. Thank you.
That's a great perspective, sir, that you mentioned that you want to clean the windows rather than waiting for it to get broken. So thank you for sharing that. Anyone from virtual audience that we can hear from? Anyone has any perspective? Okay, Harsh, please go ahead.
I think I have a few of them, but as of now, I would like to talk about the money management. So I think that is one of the things I struggle with. So I do invest and do a lot of things, but at the end of the month, I'm always like actually broke. So that is the broken window that I need to fix.
All right, Harsh, thank you. And I think one perspective I would have is that you should uninstall the UPI application. I don't know with everyone, just with me, it feels like when you do UPI, it's like somebody is giving it for free.
True.
So your hand is very free when you have UPI.
Exactly, it doesn't feel like giving money.
Yeah.
Because you're not counting and unless I'm counting and giving money, online transfer doesn't feel like giving.
That's generally also very powerful. Ideally, it takes a generally it just takes.
Once I was paid some 300 rupees, I paid 3,000 rupees. You know what?
Yeah, anyone else? Anyone else? Okay. Go ahead.
So, my broken window, I mean, I'm not sure if that's broken or I'm kind of in the process of renovating it. So this is, I mean, I do a lot of introspection and sometimes I feel that's too much. I'm being too critical of myself. That's what like my teammates and my bosses have told me that you need to be a little bit easy on yourself. So whenever, I mean, I work with clients across different geographies and when I deliver something in my client presentation, I generally have two different personalities. One where I'm very relaxed, I like speak very slowly, and I know that I'm the only one who is supposed to speak. So like everything is under my control. But then there are certain scenarios as well where let's say I have a 1 hour meeting and I have only a slot for 5 minutes. So I want to let's say talk too much and complete everything. So what that has that is not helping me in the respect that my presentation and communication skills kind of reflects in two different ways. And I mean that's also my motivation to join Toastmaster and why I'm like working to improve those things.
Alright, great to hear that. And I believe all of us want to clean this window of public speaking. That's why we all are sitting here to improve and investing our time on a weekend. Yes, Toastmaster.
Yes. So I have one thing, especially in case of like my parents and elders. So I avoid argument, even though they are wrong sometimes, or they are. But and I know this is not right in case of my sisters, my brothers as well. So they are elders. So I avoid argument even though they are wrong, but still I'm not able to speak up. No, you are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. So that is I'm trying always trying to avoid, but now I'm trying to not avoid, try to face and say that no, this is not right, this is wrong, but I have not that much of courage to say that thing. So this is thing that I want to fix it.
Great to hear that, Toastmaster Komal, that you're working on. So, guys, moving ahead, let us go to the next section. Yeah.
If in case I get a minute, I would like to share something.
Sure. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So ideally, there is. It seems. So we are kind of correlating this broken window with our, some sort of our personality. So I see it from a different lens. I like it's a broken window. It's not a broken house. So suppose I have a house as a personality. Let's say I am a house and there is only one window which is broken. The house itself is not. So that window, in spite of focusing more on the window as to why is the window broken, who broke it, and all that, maybe the intent is same that we are all fixing and all that, but we have to see. I see it from a different lens. So that's the thing. Now coming back to in case I like if I reflect myself on. So I won't call myself as a broken window. I would say it's one of my personality or one of my changes, weaknesses, whatever it is. So it could be, let's say, taking action, and I call it as a weakness. It could be taking action, and like as you mentioned initially, things are in your head, but we make it so big that we are unable to, I come finish them off and fix it, whatever we call it. So that is one weakness I would call it. And I see, like to conclude, I see broken window with a very linear approach and a liberal approach. Just a broken window inside a house, nothing more.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pratish, or thank you, guest Pratish, for sharing your perspective. Anyone else, or we can move ahead? Okay, sure, ma'am.
I had my broken window, but now I'm in process to change this window. So like earlier it happened to me when if anyone said to me anything like you are not good and you have done this for me. So I just hold the grudges related to that person. Like this person said to me, I'm not going to talk to them. I stopped talking to that person. But lately I realized if someone said to me that thing, maybe at that moment he's not at the good mood. Maybe he's facing their own life challenges. He's just suffering their own life challenges and he's having their own insecurity. And because of that, he said to me. But instead of making grudges out of that person, I started to think it's not the mistake of that person. Everyone is like very nice and everyone is a pure soul. It's the perspective of us, what we see and how we want to see that.
Thank you, ma'am. Very brilliantly said. So moving ahead, the next section. In the next section, I would like to call the journal evaluator to the stage, which is Toastmaster Ashish, to share his introduction and introduce his tag team.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Allow me to break a few windows now. All right, that was such a lovely start to the team. I'm really excited and looking forward to the entire meeting. Practice makes the man perfect. Does it apply to women also? It of course. It's saying man is use there as a human, right? Practice makes us perfect, right? And in other words, experience doing it again and again helps us in our growth journey. How many of us believe in this? 1, 2, 3, yeah, online, 4, 5. Most of us. We all know practice helps. What if I tell you it doesn't? Then prove it to you. How many years of experience you've had walking? 10 years, right? That you are not walking. You are walking. Oh my God. Okay, sorry.
Minus 2 years of our age. We are not telling you our age.
2 years. That's my incorrect way of getting to know all the age of especially women in the room. Yeah, age to push the करते they will not tell you. Ask how many years of experience of walking you have. Yeah. Okay, how many years of experience you have walking? Are you an expert? Staying on walking. Because are you an expert walker? Can you win the Olympic medal if there was one? Yeah.
So, what happens when we are learning a certain skill? Let's talk about walking. Okay, he's not able to walk, he's crawling, and he's barely able to walk. Then slowly it becomes your unconscious competence. There are 4 levels of learning. First is you are not at all aware of, you don't know what you don't know. Second is you know what you don't know. Third is you know that you know. And third is you don't know that you know, which is unconscious competence like driving. You are not gaining further expertise in driving. You are not gaining further expertise. Why? Because you have already reached that subconscious, unconscious competence level.
If you want to become the expert driver or an expert walker, what is required?
You have already gone through that stage.
But what is required? Let's say today I take a practice. Is it only practice? Because practicing we are not doing.
Instant feedback because you might not be doing it the right way. And you do something, you get a feedback, you improve yourself, and it's a cycle that continues.
Thanks, Vishal. That's where I was getting to. So this comes from a book called Catalyst. It is written by Chandra Maudi. And what he says, that he says a lot of people come and tell me that I have 10 years of experience, 20 years of experience. And he asks the same question, how many years of experience you have working? Right? And everybody starts smiling. Of course, we all know we've been working since the time we were 1 or 2, right? But at the same time, we don't count the experience like that. But when it comes to work, we start counting the experience like that. When it comes to Toastmasters, 3 years of experience. And he said, I ask people often, that is it 3 years of experience or 1 year of experience repeated 3 times? Are you really learning? And he says experience alone does not help you grow. Evaluated experience helps you. And that's in our Toastmasters journey is the role of evaluation. Now, evaluation, and if you are thinking, as my title is Journal Evaluation, if you think all evaluation is going to be done by me, I wish I was like Parth. The evaluation is going to be done by all of us. Right? And unless we all are evaluating ourselves, we will not be walking that growth step. And the broken window will remain broken forever. Right? Like walking. We are not getting better by walking every day. A security guard who is doing the service of a security guard outside our buildings is not getting day by day better by just spending the number of years there. Unless the person is evaluating himself or herself. And Mr. Mowley has given this amazing phrase called TMRR. TMRR. It stands for target, measure, review, and reflect. So he says if you are not setting up a target, and if you really want to get better walking, if you want to be the best runner, you will record your time. Right? Whether you are able to, or if you want to be the most long distance walker, you will measure yourself on the distance you travel, not really time. So you will set up a measure what you are trying to work on. And if you are every attempt setting your bar up and up, over a period of time, you will get better and better, and that will count as an experience. And that practice will start building your muscle, just like an athlete does. Each time an athlete is doing something, each time, imagine a Neeraj throwing a javelin. Oh, whether it is 90 or 80, I don't know. It won't help him. So the measurement of it becomes very important, right? And in case of javelin, it's not the height which is taken. Imagine I am a javelin thrower, I get happy. Oh, I throw the maximum in terms of height. It's not going to matter. It's the distance which you have covered, not really height. So your measure has to be right. Your target has to be right. Only then you will grow. Right? Otherwise, it's like how many years of experience we've had walking. The process will keep repeating again and again without really adding anything. So today, in this evaluation journey, what I want each one of you to do, for those who are members in the members group, those who are guests in the guest group, write in today what is one aspect which you focus on in your Toastmaster meeting. One aspect. Any one aspect. Could be voice modulation or humor, could be any dimension which you are really working on yourself. And that's what brings you here. We could have invested this beautiful Saturday morning sitting at our home or in our comfort of our beds or watching TV or playing on mobiles, etc., etc. But we have not done that. We all are here for our growth journey. So let's give all of us a minute to think through and write one dimension. I don't want to write detail, could be simple vocal variety or I want stage comfort. What is that aspect you are looking at? And how we will help you is we will review you closely on that dimension and give you feedback towards that. Each one of you just spend a minute and do that on your mobiles. I'll take a minute in the meantime, or I'll invite my tag team. And first the timer, Praminka, once you're done, you could come on the stage. You all will think that today we are making you think about the broken windows a lot. Alright, so in this evaluation, there are different aspects of the speaking which we'll be looking at. And then we have what we call tap team for the benefit of guests. We have tap team who help us with three important dimensions of speaking. And first and foremost important dimension is the timing. And let me first invite our timer, Toastmaster Praminka. Am I pronouncing your name right?
Yes.
Praminka, please explain your. Over to you. So please summary.
So today
I'll help Praminka. So the role of the timer, which Praminka is playing for the first time, so therefore a little bit of nervous energy on the stage, that she's going to take the role of keeping time for all of us and making sure that we end on time. We are there on the stage for the required time and not above the time which is allotted to us. And for example, a prepared speech is 5 to 7 minutes. So Praminka will show a green card once we are with 5 minutes. We'll show a green card once we are in 5 minutes. We'll show a yellow card once you are in the middle phase at 6 minutes. And we'll show the red card once we are at 7 minutes. Likewise for table topics, we will show the green at 1 minute, the yellow at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes. So 2 key tips. 1, do not leave the stage till you see the green card. Second, once you see the red card, wrap your speech in about 30 seconds. Right? Thanks, Praminka, and thanks for volunteering it today at the last moment, and really look forward to the report at the end of the week. Okay, and the role of timer helps us to keep our speeches concise. You know, attention spans are nowadays extremely small. If we be on the stage and just take the stage and go over on and on, perhaps we'll lose our audience. So that's the important role of timer. He's going to be played by Praminka. Now the second role is the role of our counter, and Mr. Toastmaster Vishal is playing that role. I invite him on the stage to introduce his role. Over to you. Right.
thank you, Toastmaster Ashish. Good morning, everyone. So, before I brief you about what my role for today is, uh, anyone wants to share what's the process of making a tea? How do you make tea at your home or at other places? Come on, it's a very simple question.
Water, I mean, the natural thing that we heat the water, you put sugar, you put some tea, and some masala if you really want to add masala, then add milk later on. Then sieve it and get it at get to a boil and
Okay, and then you serve it like this.
get the perfect color. You need a context, you need a cup.
Okay, and what's the last thing that you do before pouring your cup?
You sieve it. You have to use a sieve.
Alright, filter it. Yes. So, what we call a chutney in Hindi, it's called tea strainer in English. So, the role of the counter is similar to a tea strainer, just like you cannot drink a tea with all the ingredients raw. So, the counter ensures that all the filler words in your speech are filtered out, and you give the best experience to all the members present in the room. So as the accountant for the day, I'll be keeping tab on all the filler words. I just use one of the filler word. I'll keep a tab on these filler words like but, I know, etc. Filler word are not only but there are also words which people have tendency to use. For example, I know, you know, I think a lot. So I'll keep a check on all these words, and I'll share my report at the end when called by general evaluator. And also one thing, since I'm playing the role of counter, this is also one area where I want to improve. So if anyone wants to share their feedback for me at the end of the meeting, would appreciate. Back to you, Father.
To Mr. teenagers and our Prime Minister is Chaiwala, so not a bad example to give for sure. The role of our counter helps us to get the second C. First one was the conciseness in terms of timing. Second C is the clarity of our speaking. So that role will be played by Toastmaster Vishal, as beautifully explained by him. Now we have the grammarian. The grammarian role is going to be played by Toastmaster Harsh. Let me invite him on the stage to share about his role. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashish. So I'll be the grammarian for today, and before I express my role, I wanted to check how many of us have heard this quote that we usually relate with our teachers: both of you three get out of the class. Right?
Yeah.
Now we understand what it means, right? We understand what the teacher wanted to convey, but we all made fun of this thing, right? So that is the power of grammar. When the grammar is correct, the message lands very clearly to the audience. There is no miscommunication. So as the grammarian of the day, I'll be keeping track of good usage and bad usage of grammar, and good and bad usage of words. And and I'll share the report when called upon by the general evaluator. Also, as the grammarian of the day, I will be sharing a word of the day and a phrase of the day, and these are something that we should try to incorporate into our speeches or the table topics when we come on the stage. So the word of the day is, I'm keeping it very simple, so I hope there will be more usage of the words and phrases. So the word of the day is grateful. It just means to feel thankful about something. And the example of that would be, I'm grateful for the Eloquent Toastmaster Club that helps me use my Saturdays in a productive manner. The phrase of the day is piece of cake. And an example of this would be, in Eloquent Toastmasters, the table topics are a piece of cake given the support that the people have given us. And whenever someone uses the word of the day or the phrase of the day, we have a practice of giving thumbs up like this, and and yeah, so that's the role I'm playing today. And with that, over to you, Toastmaster Ashish. Thank you.
Thank you so much, grammarian Toastmaster Harsh, and I am, all of us are so grateful that you have chosen the word and the phrase which can be used like a piece of the cake. So, I'm sure all of us will use it, and like rightly mentioned by Toastmaster Harsh, the grammarian help us to make sure that our speeches are correct. So, three important C's of the communication: the conciseness, the clarity, and the correctness is going to be assessed by this team. Do wait for their report towards the end of the meeting, and we'll be back when called upon by our TMOD. Let's now go back to the broken window.
Master Ashish and the tech team for explaining so well. So guys, let's move to the next section, which is the prepared speeches section. So our first speaker today will be Toastmaster Vivek, and I will be evaluating his speech. So a short introduction about Toastmaster Vivek. So Vivek works with Petrofac and currently is the country manager for the India division. Vivek believes in value-based healthy relationships with people. His interests are reading, writing, and cooking. Vivek's favorite quote is, "The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war." Well said, sir. Vivek is a passionate Toastmaster. He started his journey in August 2023. He has completed one pathway and also received a Triple Throne Award. He is presently VP Ed at the GTMC Club. So welcome to our club, sir, and we are looking forward to your speech. Coming to your speech details, Vivek will be working on the pathway, engaging humor. He's working on level 2, project 2, and the purpose of his speech is to connect with the audience. Over to you, Toastmaster Vivek. I wish you all the best. I'm sure it's going to be a piece of cake for you. Title, Toastmaster Vivek. Toastmaster Vivek, title.
5%. Thanks.
5%.
जेल में पिस्टल आ गया है। क्या जेल पिस्टल आ गया है? 3-4 दिन में जेलर और उसके जासूस टिचियो जेलर साहब कैदी कुछ पिस्टल लेकर आ गए हैं जेल और हम अंग्रेजों के जमाने के जेलर हैं। हमारी जेल में बंदूक सिपाहियों पूरी जेल को ध्यान मारो, कहाँ है बंदूक? आधे इधर जाओ, आधे इधर जाओ और बाकी मेरे साथ आओ। Good morning, Toastmaster of the day. Good morning, fellow members and the distinguished guests. What I just did enacted a scene from a old Hindi movie. Can you guess the name of the movie? Sure. Thank you. That means I did my job right. I am not an actor, but I just wanted to convey something with respect to the title of the speech. Title. So, how many of you really believe that title is so important for us? Without title, we are nothing. Yes, title is important, but title is not everything. You get that title, you should be grateful for that. It becomes like a piece of cake for you to grow in your career. Title is important, but it's not everything. I'm sure many of you must be managers or leaders in your organization. I'm sure many of you must be having manager or leader whom you are reporting to. I also had experience of reporting to various kinds of managers or leaders in my career of 30 years. I would like to recall one such manager, first manager probably, or various managers I had, but this particular manager I remember, he will never move out of his cabin. He will sit in his chair. He is so much obsessed with his title and position. And I was young that time, and he will call everybody to his office, spend many hours for meeting, and he would always give a golden piece of advice about interfacing departments. Don't go and meet them. Just write an inter-office memo. If they don't respond, send a reminder. Reminder 1, reminder 2, reminder 3. I had this kind of boss. Other extreme, I'm fortunate to have worked with this manager or managing director of mine. He would say, you don't have to worry about work, you have to connect with people. Your work will be done automatically. Go and meet the people where they are. Don't sit on your chair. So, knowing the people around you is more important than your title. I'll share one more story. This is like, there is an admin clerk, there is a sales representative and their manager. They are going to a lunch. On the way, they find one oil lamp, antique oil lamp, and they start rubbing it, and the genie came out. Then the admin guy says, me first, me first, me first. Okay, I will grant each of you one wish. He says, I want to be in Bahamas on a speedboat and having fun time. Poof, she is gone. Now the sales representative say, next me, next me. Okay, I want to be in Hawaii's, having my personal massages and having best of pina coladas and the best of love of my life. Poof, he is also gone. Now, what do you want, manager? He tells Jenny, I want you to get back these two persons back to my office before lunch. So the moral of the story is, never ignore your boss. You will definitely learn something, what type of manager, what type of leader he or she is, and it will help you in your journey. Even if it is not so good, good or best, it will help you to evolve. What is wrong in that jailer's character? Asrani, that role was played by jailer, Asrani. Do you think that story could have been different? To me, he was a bad leader. He was like a positional leader because there was a revolt happening in his jail and he did not know. He was like a positional leader. He did not know he is depending only on one person, that barber. He is not mixing up with his team and he is so obsessed with the things around him, he doesn't know what he is talking. Try to avoid such kind of positions because this is just happens because he has been given that title after some selection process, some interview. It is not just given to him, but he did not utilize it well. It is only a platform. So I will leave you with 3 thoughts. Abraham Lincoln said, almost all the men can get through adversity. If you really want to test a man's character, give him power. Point number 2, if you want to connect with the people, connect them at their place and then take them where you want. Meet them where they are. And third and the most important thing is you may be a leader, but your appointment is, you are not a leader unless your appointment is ratified in the minds and hearts of the people you are working with. Thank you.
amazing speech by Toastmaster Vivek, and I must say that your confidence is contagious. So, guys, moving ahead, so we have our second speaker now, which is Toastmaster Prateek. Let me just check if we have any evaluator. Do we have any evaluator, or should we take a vote right here? Toastmaster Vivek, it's pending, right?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. So Toastmaster Ashish will be evaluating Toastmaster Prateek. Just a short introduction before I invite the evaluator. So Toastmaster Prateek is our VP Education. He is a very energetic person. And we all are amazed to see how immensely he has grown in the group in such short period. So we are looking forward to his speech today as well. So now inviting the evaluator, Ashish, if you have details, if you can introduce the speech details for everyone.
Thank you, TMOD. So today my target speaker, Toastmaster Prateek, Prateek is attending part 1 of level 2 speech of Pathway Strategic Relationship. So in this speech, he will try to share with us about his leadership style and which would help him to identify his own leadership style. The timing of the speech timer is 5 to 7 minutes. And I wish my target speaker Toastmaster Prateek all the very best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashish. So, Toastmaster Prateek, I welcome you on the stage and I wish you all the best. A pinch of authority, Toastmaster Prateek, Toastmaster Prateek, a pinch of authority.
Grateful to be here, delivering a speech. Preparing looks like a piece of cake, but when you are right in front of the same people again, there is fear. Many years ago, when I came to Gurgaon, when I was staying with my roommates, we were searching for jobs. Somehow, one of my roommates was able to secure the job before all of us. And I don't know how, but he managed to get laid off on the day one. I was flabbergasted, literally in tears, not of sorrow, but joy. But I collected myself and I asked him, so sad. Dude, how did you pull this up? Getting fired on the day one? What? How did you manage that? And he goes like, yeah, I reached the office at 11 a.m. My new manager came to me and he asked me, why are you late? So I impulsively, casually replied, I was following the company tagline, which is be unapologetically you. And rest is history. Instantly, something that came to my mind was what an authoritative clown his manager is. He was new, he should have given him some chance to improve himself. My dear fellow Toastmasters, guests, and TMOD, raise your hand if every now and then you keep on looking at social media, crossing your path, talking about how a true leader should be. Many of us. But rarely we get to see a perspective or social media post about how a true team member should be. And why am I talking about it? Because this journey to leadership starts from day one, right? As soon as you get into a job, you are already a leader of yourself. The posts that we are talking about, the articles or the suggestions that we keep on hearing every other day, maybe we don't realize, and maybe we do, that everyone keeps on advocating about the democratic leadership style. And personally, I myself also likes it. I mean, a leader who is open, always ready to help, understanding, supportive, who is ready to step up whenever it is required, who is ready to fill in the gaps, who wouldn't want to work with that leader? You are more likely to stay in the team, in the organization, or in the system if you have a democratic leader. But there are certain set of issues with that kind of leadership style. For instance, during COVID times, if you are an impeccable, great leader, you are in good in terms of relationships with your entire team. But if you are told to take tough decisions, like letting go people go, or choosing only a handful of them to promote or remove. For a democratic leader, it may turn out to be a bigger dilemma. So when it comes to leadership, there are times, because businesses are not as rosy as we expect it to be. There are highs, there are lows, and all the time decisions has to be taken. And there are times when you cannot look for vote, or you cannot wait for suggestions from everyone to take a decision. So that's why, as a democratic leader, which is could be a need of an hour in a stressful world, in a stressful job, it could be a need of an hour, but it has to have that pinch of authority when it comes to stepping up and being bold and taking tough decisions. That leader should be able to take it. How I came up with this perspective, because as we all know, in 5 days we will be celebrating our 77th Independence Day, right? The freedom that we have, it was sustained because there are some micromanagers, some bureaucratic managers, some authoritative people who are taking decisions for all of us. And they, my dear friends, they don't have the liberty to be lenient with their team members, be it your army or be it your government. Striking a perfect balance in every aspect of life is difficult. But when you go home today, or on Monday when you log in, if you already have team members in your team, just give it a thought. Tough times are inevitable. So, better you should be prepared for that.
Thank you so much for sharing your perspective and the amazing speech. So guys, coming back to the theme, and let's fix the windows now. So initially we discussed about what our broken windows are, or where we have issues, or what we need to fix. So now moving to why do we procrastinate it, or why do we not fix it timely, or the reasons for inaction. So I read this quote somewhere in the book I was reading recently, that it is actually less painful to take action rather than just thinking about taking action. So coming to the reasons, so let me just take everyone's perspective before I move to the pointers I have written. Why do you guys think that we just keep our broken windows like that and we don't fix it for a very long time? What is the reason?
Just a second. Which book is this? In case you remember.
So, yeah, I'll text to you.
All right.
After the meeting, if that works with you.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Thank you. So, moving to the audience, what do you guys think? Is the reason that we keep our windows like that, broken, uncleaned?
Because human is changed, and we always have a fear of unknown. What will happen if we do this? I think that's the main problem, that instead of taking action and then seeing what will be the consequences, we just think about what's going to happen, and generally we think about the negative consequences. So we let the status quo, go as it is, and resist any new change.
So what I understand is it's fear and it's overthinking, right?
Yeah.
So sir, coming to you, Toastmaster Vivek.
I think it's a priorities. Sometimes it is not in our priorities. Like I see, if I'm staying in a house, which has let's say 3 bedrooms, for example, my need is taking care in one room. And if something is wrong with the other rooms, windows, physically window is broken or toilet is broken, something. Probably I don't have to spend my time today. I'll say, okay, I can schedule it. This is not my priority today. Maybe when I get free time, it might so happen with the life, you get so busy with so many other things. Each day passes, I really don't count on when the Sunday comes or the Saturday comes. It is the life, time is passing with such a speed.
So the priority or the importance of that thing. Correct. Very well said. Anyone else? Maybe from the virtual audience we can take next.
Vidushi, I would like to share a perspective. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Yes, sure.
I feel that sometimes we are not acting upon our thoughts and we are not taking the necessary actions. It has to stem from lack of resources as well available to that particular individual. I cannot share what exactly is my thought process behind it, but I'll explain the baseline fundamental of why I'm actually saying it like so. So let's say, or we can actually take an example of an individual who would like to work on his or her physical health, but he or she might not be having the right financial resources, maybe to perhaps join a gym at a certain point in time. Or let's say maybe a person would like to go to Europe for a study program, but he or she might not be able to afford it. So sometimes I think we think and think a lot, and we are not able to execute with our actions because of lack of resources. Uh, that can be an excuse, I know, but sometimes it's genuine and sometimes it's real. And when that lack of resources thing happen to an individual, I think that itself is a kind of a circle when an individual actually goes into the circle of procrastination, delaying, taking a step what he or she can do, because a lot of times that individual is just bogged down by the fact that he or she is not having the resources or maybe the guidance which is required. So I think a lot of times in my life at least, it has happened that when I wanted to take some steps, but I couldn't because of lack of guidance and lack of resources.
Thank you, Bhavesh, for sharing your perspective. And rightly said, lack of resources is also one of the reasons. And like you only mentioned, it could be genuine also. And sometimes it could be an excuse also. For example, coming back to the story I explained, that I was planning changing all the windows, but eventually I fixed it in rupees 500 when I thought of, finding an alternative. So thank you for sharing the perspective. Anyone else? From the room or from the virtual? Sure, Pratik.
Comfort zone is the biggest reason I would say. According to me, all aspects can be addressed if you are able to break out of your comfort zone.
Rightly said. Yes, Komal.
I think sometimes when you avoid, it becomes your habit, and then you won't come out of your habit. Whatever you are habit, you continue. Suppose you have some habit or that you want to change, but it's like you are doing from your childhood, so you don't want to come out of that habit.
Yes, rightly said. Habit also. Then you want.
Sometimes you want quick result, and because of that, people because of quick result, people do not stay longer in the gym as well because they want quick results. They go and they just want result in 1 or 2 weeks, and if they didn't find result, they just quit.
Right, the gym example was very good. That you check our apps like every third day or after a week. So yes, everybody had a great perspective. Just adding few of the points that I also believe add to it. So first one is maybe we don't know our why. Why do I want it? How much important it is. Like so, you also mentioned importance. So maybe we don't know why we want to do it, or maybe it is not a strong why which is motivating us to take action. So that is the first perspective. The other is maybe we don't have a clear plan or vision. Maybe I don't know what steps I have to take. Maybe I'm not clear how should I go about it. So maybe creating a plan can help in case we are not clear. We can go and take help from somebody if we don't have the technical expertise that that thing requires. That's second perspective. The third one is maybe we lack discipline to do it. Maybe we want to, my broken window is that I'm fat. Maybe though I'm not fat. So maybe my broken window is that, but I don't have the discipline to get up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym. Or I don't have the discipline to take out time from my work and other responsibilities. So that is one add-on factor. And the last one is that we are consumed by fear, as Vishal also mentioned. So fear is something that restricts us to not take action because we are worried about the alternative. What will I do if it doesn't work? What will people think of me? And maybe sometimes we also feel that somebody is going to come, somebody is going to push us, somebody is going to help us. But in reality, like I mentioned before, nobody is coming. We are, adults. We have our own life, and we have to take action. So I would like to just conclude all this by saying that all of us have it within us. It's just a matter of knowing that we only have to take action and we can do it. So yeah, I've given a lot of lecture and we have talked about the intellectual stuff. So I'll just give you guys some break and we can move to the table topic section now. So I would like to invite Toastmaster Komal, who would be our table topic master today. Over to you. Clearly.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmaster and our lovely guest. Today I'm playing the role of table topic master and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. So in this section we will practice here impromptu speaking and I will be providing you very simple topics just like a piece of cake. So I would request everybody to please participate in this section and the topic would be 1 to 2 minutes you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes and timer Kronika will show you at 1 minute green card, at 1 minute 30 second yellow card, and at 2 minute red card. 30-second grace period you will get to wrap up your speech. And I would request everybody to please participate in this section and use the word of the day and the phrase of the day. So I would request any experienced Toastmaster to volunteer first. Toastmaster Isha, yes. So Vishal, for you the topic is pleasure without pain. Pleasure without pain, Toastmaster Isha.
All right. So pleasure without pain. I think both the words kind of goes hand in hand with each other. I'll take a really good example of let's say the gym that we just talked about. I think that's a very relatable topic and probably something which all of us are guilty of doing in our life. I think
Pleasure without pain.
okay, sorry. So I think pain is important for us to realize the value of pleasure. If we spend a good amount of time in gym, let's say improving our physical health, there are different type of pleasure that we get out of it. First is definitely when you look yourself in the mirror, you find yourself more fit, more leaner, and the other aspect of it is that if you are physically fit, then it affects your mental health as well. So I think in life there are a lot of things where we see that there is no pleasure without pain. Both the things are like same, like two different sides of the same coin. It's not that whatever you do, be it any task that you do, you'll only either have pleasure or you'll have pain. But without pleasure, without pain, you won't realize the benefit of pleasure. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vishal. You perfectly have explained the topic. Anybody from virtual audience would like to take up the floor topic? Yes,
British.
Pritesh. Yes.
All right.
So, Pritesh, for you, the topic is a lesson from mistake. A lesson from mistake, Toastmaster Pritesh.
This is a beautiful topic, I believe, and I'm grateful to Toastmasters this session for allowing me to learn, allowing me to reflect. What all can I learn from my mistakes? So I believe mistakes is a piece of cake where if someone has diabetes, so he would ignore that. So if someone is if someone likes to eat sweets and all that, he would prefer that. So I would go with the second option. So I believe that mistakes is a stepping stone of your life, and it's whatever mistakes you have done, one should reflect upon the past and see as to how can you improve oneself. So I believe that it's a way to improve yourself. It won't lead you to diabetes. So it's a piece of cake which will help you to improve yourself. And that's all. It's the ultimate aim is to improve oneself, and only mistakes can help you. And if you do mistakes, that means you have taken one step ahead as compared to not doing anything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pritesh, for participating and to share all the points how like we can learn from our mistakes. Anybody else who would like to participate from virtual or physical audience?
Two people who have registered, Bhavesh and
Puneet and Bhavesh.
Okay, Bhavesh, for you the topic is: have you ever regretted something that you did not say or do? Have you ever regretted something that you did not say or do? Over to you.
Okay, I'm just thinking. Just give me 5-10 more seconds.
Oh,
As much regrets I have in my life, I would like to believe that I do not regret anything. And I'll explain the reason behind this because since the time I'm actually able to remember my life, and I think it would be vividly from the year 2012 when I was just in 8th standard. After that, I actually remember my life vividly, because of which I can definitely share that yes, I have actually I have executed ample number of regrets because of not executing certain things or because of not saying certain things which I should have. But as much as I have the list of regrets in my life after 2012, I do not think that now, in retrospect, in hindsight, when I think about those regrets, they are actually regrets. I can actually give you a small example there. Back in 2015, I think you all know that I was preparing for All India pre-medical test, but it didn't happen like for me, and I was not able to convert my childhood dream of becoming a medical student. In reality, in hindsight, when I look back, I did not give myself a second opportunity, and I'm grateful for it. Why I'm grateful for it? Because I know for a fact that had I given myself another chance, I wouldn't be landing myself this job which I have an experience as a human resource professional, where I truly find where I actually truly found my passion. This journey was no less than a piece of cake for sure, but I know it that the regrets I'm thinking about that I should have done it or said it,
if I had done it in the past, they would have probably become my regrets rather than me not doing them or saying them. So I actually am kind of a person who is, when thinking about my life, can find no regrets. And yeah, thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Navish. Now, Puneet, for you, the topic is any bad habit that you have fixed it or working on it. Any bad habit that you have fixed it or working on it. Over to you, Puneet.
All right. So one bad habit which I can think of right now, and it resonates a lot with the topics which we have discussed today. So that is procrastination. So I used to procrastinate a lot, multiple things like taking care of my health, taking care of the money matters, which hurts it, a lot of other things. So that again depends, as Bhavesh also mentioned, that sometimes the reason is logical, sometimes the reason is real, but sometimes it's just an excuse. So I try to reflect on those things and try to find out what are the things which I can actually work on, and what are the things for which I actually have a genuine reason. So one of them was procrastinating my health. So as of now, I try to get up early unless I have a very late night day in office. I try, for at least 4 or 5 days I try to get up early. I go for a walk. I go to the gym. I used to procrastinate the money matters a lot. So I've taken a couple of courses wherein I can learn about how to manage my finances. Uh, I used to ignore my mental health as in the kind of life which we lead, which has a lot of stress. We have to balance between multiple priorities. Uh, we see, even if we want to go to the gym, even if we want to go for a yoga, even if we want to go for a walk, we want to go to a holiday with our family, but sometimes we're not able to do it because we don't have enough time to do it, or our life is busy. So that is something I'm trying to work on these days.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, Puneet. And very happy to know that you are working on it. Anybody else from physical audience who would like to participate? For you, the topic is what makes you uncomfortable? What makes you uncomfortable? Good enough. So, what makes me uncomfortable? Like I was I was having a bad habit in mind. If I talk about a year ago, like I used to sleep till late, like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and in night also I used to sleep at like 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock, and that became my habit. But somehow like I realized like this is not the correct way to live the life, because at the end if I used to wake up late, my whole day went into the hurry. Like everything I'm doing in hurry, and I'm doing like not so in the good mood. Like it's very easy for me to frustrate for the little of the things. But I realized like this is the not correct way, and I decided to change my this habit. So in December 2023, I decided like I will get up early, and I will work on myself. So I used to wake up at 4:30, and I will give at least 2 to 3 hours to improve myself, like for workout and for meditation and reading and all. So now this habit gives me more comfortable, but the more comfortable, and even on the weekend also, I used to wake up like at this time
And if sometimes I do not follow these things, I become so much uncomfortable. Like why I'm not doing this. So now it has become my identity. And
I think in virtual audience we Sharon.
Yeah, your
Sharon.
voice is breaking.
Okay,
Sharon,
am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thanks for confirmation.
please. Why are you you? Why are you you? Toastmaster Sharad.
Yes, I can do this.
That's a very intriguing topic, I must say, Toastmaster Komal. Thanks for giving such a topic. So, I think everyone is unique and they have their own personality as leader defined by their own set of rules and own set of style of doing the things. So, if I talk about myself, I love to be myself, and reason being, the the quality you have pursued over, or the passion you have developed since your birth. So this is define your style. It will separate you from others, or maybe other celebrities. So you have a unique uh, personality which will define you. Maybe not in the initial stage of your life, or when once you are not a successful person, but as soon as you are a successful person, celebrity, you know by your personality, by your style, by the way how you talk, how you communicate. Especially communicates play a very important role in this. So that's what's one of the reason to join Toastmaster and to develop such good qualities. And yes, in the end, I would like to say I like to be being myself, like the way I think, like the way I suppose for the for the other peoples. Like I'm a philanthropist, so I love to be think about other living organism as well. So these are things I know that separate me from others, and it's lovely to be once yourself. And in the end, I would like to say, love yourself as well. Thank you.
What would you explain about yourself? Anybody else? Anyone?
Dikshita, would you like to attend? Abhishek?
Dishita, can you hear us?
Yeah. Komal, you can share the topic actually.
Yes, yes. So, Dishita, for you, the topic is what do you like to change? What do you like to change? Dishita, over to you.
The question is about myself or about like what?
Any
Or the generic?
Yeah.
Okay. Just allow me 10 seconds to think about it. Just,
Yeah.
Hi everybody, my name is Dikshita, and today my topic is what I would like to change about what I would like to change, right? So basically, I would refer this topic to myself and what I would like to change about myself. So over the years, I have realized that I'm a very laid back person in terms of articulating my life. Because when I got the job, my first job, I was 100% sure that I want to stick into this career. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So, okay. So when I got my first job, I was 100% sure that I want to stick to this career and I want to grow in this career. Then I got my second job after 2 years, and then I got various opportunities to work in different fields, which made me a bit confused, like what I actually want to do in life. But instead of working on that, I took a break. Then I took a break for quite a long time. Then I moved back to workforce, and then I got another opportunity where I actually excelled. But after a few, I think maybe after a year, I got bored of that work as well. Then I joined a team. I did an internal movement, and I started working in this particular field for like good 5 to 6 years, which made me realize that I am a person who is actually still figuring out about life, what to do next in career wise. But then, yeah, this is one thing I really want to work on myself because I need to be focused. I need to actually hold on to one particular career because although I'm getting promoted in terms of designation, but still this career path is unclear. I really want to work on this year at least. Thank you, everyone.
Anybody else from physical or online audience?
Harsh.
Harsh. Okay. Harsh, for you the topic is what has life taught you recently? What has life taught you recently? Over to you, Harsh.
Just give me 10 seconds. I'm thinking about it. What has life taught me recently? Now, if I were to talk about things that I have learned from life and life has taught me over time, it will be a long list. But today, I'll be talking about what life has taught me recently. So, I'm in my late 20s right now, and I'm growing and I'm seeing my parents grow. And one thing that I learned recently is that the importance of family, like the actually that I learned way back, but the importance of keeping in touch with your family. So in my early 20s, I used to I still cared for my parents. I had huge respect for them, but it was more of a one-way communication. They used to keep a check on me, they used to call me, so it was their habit. Same thing goes with my sister. I have a very loving sister, elder sister, and she always keeps a tab on me. It's always that she is the one who calls me, she is the one who will check with me. But recently I have realized that maybe I'm taking these things for granted. Even though I feel like I'm not taking it for granted, I do love them. But I think that communication should be both ways. And that is something that I have started cultivating as a habit. So I try to like keep a daily connect with them. So it's not a scheduled meeting or something, but I have that in my mind that at least on a daily or maybe once in a 2 day, I try to connect with my parents and my sister. If it's not something like a call, maybe just a text message to check like how they're doing. So that is something that I have learned recently, to keep a connect with your loved ones. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think it's very important to connect it with our family and friends. So yeah. I think Pratik.
Abhishek.
Abhishek.
And then
Abhishek. Okay. For you, the topic is what you worried about your future. What you worries about your future. Over to you, Abhishek.
Yeah, hi, Abhishek here.
Yes.
So This is a good topic to talk about. Me, this is like very interested to me. Like I am worried about my future. Like nowadays, that like due to the modernization, the technology is changing. Like nowadays, we are doing with manual entry and all. But currently, it's like AI, Chat, GPT are coming. So day by day, it's changing. So my like future goal is to learn the new technology, new topic. So in future it will help me, and it will be easy to sustain in the market. Else it like what technology now we are working and doing, that may get outdated after 5 year or 10 year of SPM. Uh, so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. We have last topic in videos. Would like to conclude. So thank you everybody for participating, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Komal, and the audience for participating. So moving ahead, let's move to the evaluation section. So let me call the journey evaluator, Toastmaster Ashley, on stage. Toastmaster Ashley, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. So we start with our evaluation section, and first we start with the prepared speakers evaluator. And I'll take this opportunity to first invite the first evaluator of ours was you are ready. Okay, we invite Clear Body back again as the first evaluator of the speech. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashish. So I will be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Vivek, and the title of the speech was title. So to start with, the title in itself was very innovative. That's the first point. Then moving ahead, the one thing that I loved the most was your confidence. You were very loud and clear throughout your speech. And coming to the next point, your connect with the audience. Since the purpose of your speech itself was connect with the audience, so you met it very properly. For example, you asked multiple questions during your speech. For example, you asked a question if title is important in our life. And the other points are that you use your personal story, which made it very easier to attract attention of the audience, and you connected well. Now coming to the other points, I mentioned about confidence solely. The other point is that you were using your hand gestures throughout. So that's one added point. Then coming to the structure of your whole speech. So you started your speech with a monologue or dialogue from a movie, which was a great way again to connect. Then after the monologue, you explained the theme to everyone and you asked a question to the audience. Then post that, you explained multiple stories of your experiences in your professional experience or working with different recruiting managers. Then you gave a proper conclusion and you left the audience with 3 takeaways around leadership and communication. So when it comes to structure, it was very well structured. Another element I want to highlight is that there was a portion of humor also. For example, you mentioned that you never argue with your boss or you never ignore your boss. So that was all about the positives I noted or I liked. I have some recommendations for you. The first one being that you gave the monologue in Hindi. So it is recommended that if we use Hindi, if we can translate it, posting that sentence for the benefit of the audience. The second point is that you were using a prop, which was a stick. So after you started, after a few minutes, you had to run and take it. And first of all, kudos to you that you managed it so properly and it did not break your confidence. You just came back and smoothly went into it. But it is recommended that if we use a prop, we are more careful, we plan it better. And just to highlight, picking a prop in a speech is a very difficult thing. In fact, even I think I've just tried once, and there are a lot of chances of not going it the way we had planned. So kudos to you for being brave and trying a new thing. So that was all about the recommendation. Overall, a great and a very confident speech, and we look forward to having you again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lucy, for that amazing evaluation. Now we move to the second evaluation of speech of Toastmaster Prateek, and I'll be taking that over. I catch my breath first. Toastmaster speech, Toastmaster Pratik speech, Toastmaster speech. Nice name, huh? Somebody can keep it. Alright, Toastmaster Pratik ended his speech by sharing this amazing few lines, which I want to start my evaluation with. He said, tough times are inevitable. Better to prepare for that. And I think that theme ran throughout his speech, talking about the pinch of authority. Indeed, I think that's one challenge which in the modern society we all have as a leader. That while all of us want to be good people, nice people, and yes, as a leader, we have to be a nice person. But at the same time, I think we have to ask ourselves whether we are really creating softwares or we are creating people who are battle ready for the future. And I think that challenge really you reminded us to think beautifully. And I think you took a path which is a little different. Nowadays, we see a lot of people coming on the leadership and talking about, yeah, I want to be very good, democratic, helping, and so on and so forth. Nothing bad with that. But I think that flex is required in whenever the situation is demanding that difficulty. That flex in the leadership style is required in order for us to adapt to that. So that we all can be the leaders which we want to be. And people down the line respect and appreciate our leadership style because we have created the team members who are better ready for the future. Excellent job done there. Full marks to you, kudos. The second piece which I want to highlight is the way he started. That I think helped him to connect with the audience and that tinge of humor which always is associated with Pratik. If Pratik is on the stage, you will get that tinge of humor. When the friend failed in his job and there were tears, not that. And those were the tears of joy. That reminded me of this beautiful movie. Which one was Three Idiots? Huh? Three Idiots, right? That when our friends do well, we are happy, but then when they do too well, we are not so happy. That was again a very good usage of humor, and you brought it back to your overall story extremely well. So kudos to you again for that. The third element which I want to highlight is that the purpose of the speech was with regard to his leadership style. He communicated his preference, but perhaps a bit few more examples there would have helped. That how you are utilizing this flex of the style or the mix of authority style, etc., in your daily life or how you plan to use it. That perhaps would have been very good. And one key piece of recommendation which I want to leave you with is with regard to your pacing up, pacing down. And I think you have that knack of facial expression and the knack of pacing quite well. You can do it easily, right? Your connect with the audience or your facial expression, also with the up and down works well. But try and see that if you can be a little more strategic in using it. For example, when you were saying there are times where you have to be tough. Now, this sentence could be also delivered straight. There are times when you have to be tough, right? So that increases the impact of your message, right? So use it more strategically. Yes, at times it is required to be slow, but try and see that you do not use it where it is avoidable. Like the sentence of example which I gave, there perhaps it was avoided. Overall, an amazing message of the flex in leadership style, which I believe is the need of the hour, especially which all of us are trying to be good people, which is very good, but at the same time, being authoritative sometimes is also good. And I think that message was beautifully delivered with a tinge of humor, with examples, and by improving the flow of the speech slightly better and working on the pauses a little more strategically, you could be much more effective in your speeches. Back to you, the journal evaluator, it's me only. Okay, so now we move to our tag team report, and for first I'll invite our counter, Toastmaster Vishal, to come on the stage and share it.
So before I share my evaluation report, Toastmaster Vivek, I really appreciate the way you started the session with, the varying variety of claps today. I think that has brought a different energy to the room. Even though it's a small room, we don't have, a full house today as compared to other days. But that was a lovely way to start the session. So, starting with my report, Toastmaster Pratik, your you haven't used any filler words today. You used only I mean two times, and those are like a little bit out of the place. But apart from that, no other filler words. Your use of pauses, I think, were really great today. Toastmaster Harsh, you used and a lot of times, and those were not as a part of connecting to different parts of the sentence. Toastmaster Kaminka, you used like 5 plus times. Toastmaster Bhavesh, you combined two filler words, and and you used them like 5 plus times. Toastmaster Puneet, you were fluent in your speech. You used only 2 times. Toastmaster Sharad used and like lot of big pauses of 4 times. Toastmaster Komal, you have a knack of using like a lot. So you use like 4 times and 5 plus times. Toastmaster Vidushi, there are no filler words when you speak. I mean, you are very eloquent and it's very inspiring when you come on the stage. I would just recommend one thing. Sometimes take a pause and let people absorb what you want to convey, because I told you, I mean, we take a lot of time thinking about what we have to speak. The moment you go on stage, it goes like a water. So I think the only suggestion is to take some adequate pauses. Toastmaster Vivek, there were no filler words in your speech, but just a small point on vocal variety, since that was also a part of your evaluation today. I think the role play that you did was perfect. In terms of vocal variety, like I look at it in 3 waves: high, let's say normal, and low. So your speech, normal and high were definitely there, but some elements, let's say when you have to lower down your voice, was slightly missing. So I think it would be good if you want to work on that. And lastly, Toastmaster Dikshita. There were no filler words in your speech, and one thing I really liked about your speech was the clarity of words that came out of your mind. So that's my report, and back to you, Master Ashish.
Thank you so much. Imagine my happiness when our founder forgets to take your name also. Right? Okay, that was on a lighter note, and we move ahead now with the report of our grammarian. And let's invite Toastmaster Harsh on stage. If somebody could help me spotlight him.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Ashish. I'll go ahead with my report. Before I start with the specific phrases or words, in general, today's session had a great usage of grammar. Most of the speakers, I think all of the speakers were very fluid with grammar. There were very minor things where there can be improvements, and I'll come to that. But before coming to that, I just want to appreciate people who have used grateful and piece of cake, which were the word of the day and phrase of the day respectively. And like the grateful word was used more than 5 times, and piece of cake was used 8 to 9 times, and a lot of people have used it. I won't take names just for brevity. In terms of coming to the good usage of grammar, there were a lot of small phrases, a lot of good words which were used. In terms of words, there was flabbergasted, impeccable, vividity, retrospect, hindsight, intriguing, articulating. A lot of these words were used during today's session, and a lot of small phrases also were used, like gathered the courage, big in my head, like living in a glass house, seeing from a different lens, unconscious competence. That is something very new that I heard, and I think it came from Vivek. and that was something very simple but very eloquent as well. Evaluated experience, and like 3 dimension of speaking. So that came from Ashish, and I think using dimensions for speaking was a very nice thing. And confidence is contagious, a small phrase that I really liked, which was used. Other than that, there was also great usage of quotes throughout the session today. I was not able to take note of all the quotes, but I think there was impeccable use of quotes in today's session. Coming to the usage of grammar, which can be improved. So there was once someone said, "I do not able to speak up." So I think it can be either I am not able to speak up or I was not able to speak up, depending on the uh, tense that we are using. And there was usage of letting go people off. So it can be changed with laying off people. There was a usage of if they didn't find I'm sorry, I'm not able to understand my handwriting, so I will go to the next one. Mistakes is okay, so the next one is mistakes is a stepping stone. So since it was mistakes, using R would have been better. So mistakes are a stepping stone. There was a usage of setting your bar up. I think it can be slightly improved. This was also a great phase, but it can be improved to setting your bar higher and higher. And there was a usage of what to do in career wise. So I think there was like there can be 2 ways in which this can be used better, like what to do in career or what to do career wise. So either of that, but like it got mixed while the speaker was speaking. And I think that's all about the areas where there can be improvements. I think overall this was a great session where the usage of grammar was very good. Thank you. With that, over to you, Toastmaster Ashish.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Harish. Yeah, we move to our timer's report now. Today we had a debutant timer. Let's invite her on the stage, Raminka. Over to you.
Toastmaster Vivek took 7 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Karthik took 6 minutes 35 seconds. And in table topic, Toastmaster Vishal took 1 minute 34 seconds. Toastmaster Bhatis took 1 minute 30 seconds. And Toastmaster Bhavesh took 2 minutes 10 seconds. Toastmaster Punit took 1 minute 45 seconds. Toastmaster Shad took 1 minute 40 seconds. Toastmaster Dixita took 2 minutes 2 seconds. Toastmaster Harsh took 2 minutes 10 seconds. And Toastmaster Abhishek took 50 seconds, 55 seconds. Now comes to evaluation. Toastmaster Vidyashi took 2 minutes 42 seconds. Toastmaster Ashish took 4 minutes 30 seconds. Thank you.
Seems my evaluation became really evaluation. Okay, that's quite a lot of time. Thanks for keeping a tab of it. Somehow I was not able to perhaps pay attention to your cards. I was focused too much on it. Okay, now we very quickly come to the report of the overall evaluation of the meeting. Could not agree with Vishal. The more Toastmaster Vivek, what you brought to the table was really, really interesting. Thanks for taking the role in the last moment and doing not only justice, but nail the stage and start the meeting with such a lovely event. Can we give him a round of applause? Coming to the art, Toastmaster of the day, what a lovely team and what a lovely setup of the team. The explanation of the examples and the cricket memories and a lot of time we've seen that Toastmasters of the day has too much of asking, or a lot of time we have Toastmaster that is saying too much of telling. And I think what is good is the balance between telling and asking, and that was beautifully done. I felt it was apt. You were sharing at the same time you were asking and engaging audience. Right? And overall theme was very well thought through, very well structured. What to ask, when to ask. It felt like a prepared speech from the beginning to the end. Very good job done there, and also the delivery was very smooth. And our counter mentioned it more specifically that it was very smooth. Yes, of course, that one input of adding a little bit of pauses to let the audience interact. Good worked out. But overall, extremely good job done. One input whenever you take the Liam mode in the next, and this is what input not only for Vidushi, this is input for all of us. The moment you come on stage as a table topic speaker or as a TMOD or as a TM, your time starts at that moment. So first engage the audience. See, do something which hooks the audience. Like how can you have all attention of the people here? And telling the rule is not the best way to start. So, we start with three functions that can come a little later. So start with the theme, then bring in that yes, now these are the three structure and here I invite. So that works normally better. So start, and whenever you come on the stage, just use your theme or what you have on the table because Sergeant Ram has announced the theme and created a little bit of background. Just start on that. So that works well. Likewise in the prepared speech, likewise in the table topic. Of course, in prepared speeches it's a tad bit easier. In table topics it's difficult, and in TMOD it's again tad bit easier because you are prepared. So next time when you prepare it, just keep this particular aspect. Right. So this is one with regard to the table topic. With regard to the TMOD. Coming to the table topic master, Toastmaster Mohan. So what she did first when she came on stage, she explained and used the word of the day phrase, right? Right? This is very good. So you had kept that in mind. The topics you had chosen was not ending 1, 2, 3. I don't know how many we had. Count karke Sergeant Ram was making the voting link will have trouble in adding the name. I think perhaps so many people participated and a lot of virtual and physical audience participated. And your topics were very thought-provoking, were simple to understand, not complicated. And I think you had thought through and listed down well. And also you encouraged guests, you followed the protocols, you explained, you did everything right. So kudos to you for that. Very well prepared table topic session. I think everybody enjoyed it. One piece which you can challenge yourself next time, that the moment the speaker finishes, add a few words that what the speaker has said. That kind of improves my listening skill, and I'm bad at it. Let me acknowledge, right? My broken window, I fix perhaps someday, right? But that helps us to improve our listening skill and also increases the overall engagement of the people. But I think very well done with regard to the overall structure of the table topic master. I thought that Kathleen did a fabulous job. The grammarian I could not listen, I had to take a washroom break. But super job by choosing the word of the day in an extremely good manner. And they were simple word and phrase of the day and easier to use. And our counter not only focused on ours, but focused on our pauses also, which I think was very good. And the observation which had to Toastmaster Vivek was apt. Yes, sir, the element of usage of the lower body to work on. And overall, your speech was very humorous, and you owned the stage. You were so very comfortable on the stage. So I think that super job done. Look forward to have you again into our club. Coming now, we have the bookmaster session, and I'll invite the bookmaster. Let me ask him to download his video, and I'll invite him in a minute. Before that, I have posted the table topic reviews or not review, table topic evaluation in our guest group, where each of the table topics there are some inputs given that what have they done well, what can they improve. Just specifically talking about guest, the guest Pritish did a very good job. I thought his stage presence, voice was very clear and very apt. So one piece of message for all the guests, try and use a little more time. So use your 2 minutes. When 2 minutes are given on the stage, use those and communicate your message in wholesome. I think that improves the effectiveness of all of you as a table topics. right? So, and kudos to so many guests today who volunteered on it and who took the stage. I especially noticed, I think a couple of them could not even turn on their video, still they attempted it, which I think speak volume about our willingness and ability to volunteer, which I think is the first step of the growth. So very good job done. Thank you. Now we move to our bookmaster session, and the Toastmaster Bhavesh is ready. The stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashish. I will actually require a separate evaluation from your end on my session. And may I request anyone from the physical audience to actually help me with the Q&A which I will be having, because I'm not able to see the entire room's picture.
Yeah. Absolutely. Just give me.
Great. Hello everyone. Now I am able to see you like this. Okay, very good afternoon everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Bhavesh Mitwani and I'll be playing the role of Bookmaster. I happened to actually read a very interesting book on change management and how human beings cope with change. But before I dive deep about the change management and the model which I will be talking about um, in a soon while, I would like to ask all of you if you are going through any personal or professional change in your life at the moment. And I just need a couple of answers for you to share any personal or professional change. I see that someone has raised his hand. I think it's Vivek.
That human change I think is happening daily, and sometimes changes are planned, sometimes changes are not planned. It just happens, and then you get a trigger from external environment, and then you have to plan for that change. So it could be related to career, it could be related to your own personal development, it could be related to spirituality. Yes, sometimes you get some triggers from the environment. Sometimes you listen to your own voice that tells you that okay, come on, change. This is the point you need to change. So I see change is a on continuous process, and this is according to me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for actually sharing your thoughts. I would like to add on that change is inevitable. Change is the only constant in our lives, and change is imperative for our growth. We actually hear about these statements a lot. I'll just quickly take one more perspective from the virtual audience. I think Toastmaster Dikshita has raised their hand. Kindly unmute yourself and please share your thoughts. Toastmaster Dikshita. I think if you're trying to speak something, you're on mute. Kindly unmute yourself. I suppose we'll come back to that later. But yes, so as I was mentioning, that changes are inevitable, they are bound to happen, they are imperative for our personal growth. We hear about these statements a lot. But what is that initial emotion which comes in our head and in our heart when we are going through a change? And are we really ready? And do we know that how should we navigate through a change? Do you all know that when a change is happening or occurring in your life, at that moment, you are confident that how you would like to navigate through that change? Because changes sometimes can be ghastly, they can be barbaric, they can be borderline not so good. So, do you know how to navigate through those changes? Anyone would like to share something?
Hi, Bhavesh. Dikshita.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So, navigate the changes is, in my case, I would say that I would rather go with the flow, because I cannot contemplate or I cannot assume that things will go the way actually I want. Okay. So, in that case, I usually go with the flow and see how things happens in my favor. If it even it's not in my favor, I try to be a bit grateful about it. In the terms, I try to work on it so that I can learn something from out of it actually.
Great. Okay, thank you so much. The I'll actually come back to this thought later, and I'll mention the book I will be explaining you about. The title of the book is Above and Below the Line of Thinking. It is written by Ayn Rand in 1923. This book is actually talking about that whenever our friends, family members, peers are going through any kind of personal or professional change, rather than just coping with those changes on yourself or by just yourself, it is really important and imperative for us to, share that change with any of our close ones. Doing that, it makes us feel that yes, we are not lonely in having these changes. Our peers, our friends, our family members are also going through their respective share of changes, and it makes an environment within ourselves and in and around ourselves more inclusive, if I may say so. So, the first and the foremost step the author talks about is that we should be acknowledging the change by talking it out, by sharing it with our close ones, with our loved ones whom we can trust. And when we share those changes, those personal and professional changes, we have to be really mindful of the emotions we are going through and whether those emotions are below the line and above the line. Now, what is this concept of below the line, above the line? To explain you more comprehensively, I'll just quickly share my screen with all of you so that you can have a better look. Give me a moment. I hope my screen is visible to you all.
Yes.
Great. So, as you can actually see with the help of this model, the thoughts which are borderline negative, cynical, and which are not, I would say, productive or are not contributing to our personal and professional growth are the thoughts or emotions or feelings which are below the line. Like we blame ourselves sometimes that we are not able to take proper actions, as we were discussing in Toastmasters Vidushi's session. We also happen to play a game of victim blaming where we ourselves become victims or we victimize other people for those changes happening. We give excuses, we block the behaviors, we lose all the control. And I remember Toastmaster Vidushi also talking about this, that we wait for others to come in our lives to influence us in the right direction. And then we hit a failure, then we try to find faults in those situations, and then we go in a denial mode. All these feelings, all these emotions which are below the line, I want you all to understand that it is perfectly alright if any one of you is going through any of these emotions. But the imperative part here is that we have to find out a way that how we can from being below the line go above the line, and that's what the author talked about in the book. What are the ways through which we can go from below above the line, and the thoughts then we will be experiencing by finding ourselves above the line would be that we are making our own choices and no one else is controlling our lives. We see possibilities in every situation. We own the situations we are in and we always seek and provide feedback. We take responsibility to solve the things or solve the changes happening in our life by seeking solutions, finding better ways, taking necessary actions, and being accountable to all the situations. So I think it's our imperative responsibility as a group, as human society, to find out the methods with the help of which we can actually transfer from below to above the line. And one of the most fundamental way of doing is by sharing and by acknowledging your thoughts with your loved one, with your close one whom you can trust, because it feels as a cathartic experience. You feel a sense of relief, a sense of liberation when you are sharing the changes, which are mostly, more often than not, are not so good. The author also talks about that it is really important for us to watch our own thoughts, and this was a beautiful statement. Uh, it was actually written in the book
that our thoughts impact how we feel, and then our feelings impact how we behave. So if we are able to watch our thoughts, that if our thoughts are below the line or above the line, and then take necessary actions, then it will impact, it will change how we are feeling, and then eventually it will change how we are behaving or how we are planning to cope with those changes. And again, in conclusion, I would like to say it, the entire book always talked about that if you would like to change how you behave, you have to change how you feel. For that, you have to change how you think. But those thoughts needs to be acknowledged. Those needs to be shared with the people whom you trust, with the people who are close to you. And that's it for my side. Thank you so much. Back to the presiding officer.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bhavesh. I will be definitely looking for this book at home today. All right. So the voting links are in the WhatsApp inbox. Please visit that link and vote for your favorite role players for today. And in the meantime, as we have guest Pratish, Abhishek, would you like to share your feedback and any suggestions for the betterment of the meeting?
Well, it's nothing. I already made 9 pages of notes as to what all I learned from this overall meeting, and the books and so many points were shared as to. Then I made notes as to what are the table topics for other people, and like even if they're doing their own mistakes, and how can I improve myself by seeing that am I doing those? Like I don't know whether I'm going through the same mistakes and all that. So overall, it was like really beautiful and engaging, and I learned a lot as to when to engage audience, when to pause, when to use hand gestures, when to use humor, and when are you stammering, when are you using filler words. So I feel that, and the last part, which was completely different. It was not about communication. I believe it was about the personality development altogether. So I honestly, it's superb. So there is no feedback at mine. There is no improvement or some mistakes as to what should be improved at your end. Nothing like that. It's superb. It was superb.
Thank you so much for that, Pratish. We hope to see you in more of our meetings.
Sure.
Abhishek, would you like to share your feedback?
Yeah, hi all. It was like great session and like good learning and lesson learned, and we can implement in our day-to-day life. Like the practice speaker has explained about the like office culture and how leadership is working. So that and all we can also improve in that, because nowadays like toxic culture is happening at like office premises. But it is like better to learn about how the humble leader and kind leader that can able to manage the huge team with like a proper manner, and team will be happy to work with a good leadership. And that's it. It was like nice to join the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Master Abhishek. We will love to see you in physical meeting next week or next to
Yeah,
next week when possible. So
sure.
we have 11 responses so far, and so the first role was about best Fox role player. It was between Timer, Toastmaster Kramika, Aha Counter Toastmaster Vishal, Grammarian Toastmaster Harsh, and Bookmaster Toastmaster Avi. Any guesses? Absolutely. So Toastmaster Bhavesh. That's your handshake.
Is this perfect?
Who's taking the picture?
Harsh, can you do a screen grab?
Let me take.
Done.
It's done, right?
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, it's done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bhavesh. Moving on to next tour, which was about the table topic speakers. We have tons of speakers today, and almost everyone was someone's favorite. So, sorry. So Toastmaster, there are so many.
Let's use one S and one Christmas.
Come on. So Toastmaster Sharad and guest Abhishek. Would you like to come up on the camera for a picture? Sharad is
Sharat is not there in the meeting, Pratik.
alright. Abhishek is Abhishek is traveling. We'll use the existing protocols.
Okay.
And we will do the topic. Why are you? You don't know that.
Yeah.
Why are you?
Best
I've never known various topic than this.
best prepared speaker. Do we need any others?
Both were great today. Very tough.
Toastmaster Vivek. That's what I wrote it on my WhatsApp status.
Best speaker. Who gives to board? Really good speech. Thank you. Lord.
Yeah.
Thank you. Tough competition. Yes.
Best speech evaluate. So I will invite both of you to give each other a second, but
Okay.
and I will request Toastmaster Vidushi to stay on the stage because the final one between the Toastmaster of the day, General Evaluator, and Table Topic Master, the winner is Toastmaster Vidushi. Yes.
Get to the front.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. With that, we give you weekend back, and thank you so much for joining us.
With picture.
Two, three. Team three. Now it has to be.
Yeah, please stay for a team fee if possible.
Ash, are you taking it or should I take it?
Yeah,
Am I coming with
yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Smile. Done.
That's super.
Thank you so much, everyone. Happy weekend.
Thank you.
We will try to run meetings.
Huh.